Coronavirus cases are continuing to spike in parts of the South and West, with hospitals in Phoenix, Arizona now seeing a record number of patients. Joe Fryer is at a hospital in Phoenix with the latest for us.
This morning, Arizona is seeing one of the largest increases in COVID-19 cases in the country. Numbers nearly doubling in the last 14 days, with more than 2,000 new cases on Monday. Now, with only 17% of hospital beds available in Phoenix, nurses on the front line say they're struggling to keep up.
Looking forward at the next few weeks, it's kind of scary and daunting.
All as President Trump is scheduled to speak at this Phoenix megachurch later today. In a since-deleted post, church leaders boasted about a device they say can kill 99.9% of the virus in minutes.
Ionization. It's ionization of the air, and it takes particulates out, and COVID cannot live in that environment.
But medical experts dispute that claim.
Filtration technology in particular would not prevent COVID-19 transmission from person to person.
Across the country, many states in the north and east have seen fewer new cases, while others in the south and west are seeing record numbers, with 8 states amassing more than 1,000 new cases in the last 24 hours. And still no reports yet of spikes related to protests earlier this month. With almost 3,000 new cases in Florida Monday, Miami's mayor is now requiring masks be worn in public spaces.
Without a doubt, enforcement will be a challenge.
Florida's governor says there's an increase in COVID-19 cases in people under the age of 45. The trend also seen in Texas, along with an average of 3,500 new COVID-19 cases every day. All of this as a new study raises questions about how long COVID-19 immunity may last. Researchers found the amount of antibodies in a small group of infected people dropped as much as 96.2% just 2 to 3 months after infection. Back in Arizona, as hospitalizations rise, so does anxiety.
I feel like the worst is yet to come.
Another big concern here is testing. So far, Arizona's Department of Health says the state has tested shy of 600,000 people, one of the lowest testing rates in the country. Some have told us they've had to wait hours to get a test. Joe Fryer, NBC News, Phoenix.
Today, the Texas Education Agency is expected to release more guidelines on reopening schools this fall. Those guidelines will be discussed with superintendents in a news conference call. Most school districts are willing to adopt a hybrid system where students will be learning on campus and at home. Governor Abbott announced last week that students will be returning to campuses in the fall. A day after Harris County's mandatory mask order, Galveston County now issuing its own mask order for businesses and residents starting today. The order is similar to their neighboring county, which states that everyone must wear a mask in businesses. It's unclear if there will be a fine for those who violate the order, but it will remain in effect until June 30th.
If we don't all work together, really to be perfect out in the community, the masking, the social distancing, the hand washing, the avoiding of touching of one's face, the avoidance of large gatherings, and really all of those social settings that we cannot return back to the way things were before.
An urgent warning from Dr. Mark Boom. He's part of the COVID-19 task force in Houston. The number of patients hospitalized in his system has tripled since Memorial Day weekend. Other doctors are warning that at the rate the city's going, Houston could end up being the worst affected city in the entire nation. Texas Children's Hospital in Houston starting to take adult patients. It comes as several hospitals in the area are at 75 to 80% capacity. A spokesperson from Texas Children's says they're willing to help fight the virus any way they can. If you still need to get tested for the virus, Port Arthur is doing walk-up testing today. You can stop by the Bob Bauer Civic Center right now. Tomorrow, you'll have another opportunity at the West Side Development Center. Testing is from 9 to 4, and you do not have to pre-register. Simply show up, register on site, and get tested.